Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And this is a little bit of an impromptu edition of the State of the Saints podcast. And it's been a minute since I actually did a show like this where I just do Q&A. I'm at the radio station right now. Just had a few minutes that, I can kill. This won't be long, but just want to answer some of your questions. I know sometimes, like when we have show topics, some people don't get the opportunity to answer questions or even, get their comments read. So just want to take the opportunity to dedicate this show to some of the loyal viewers and listeners of the State of the Saints podcast. And hope everybody's having a good day. I'm enjoying my day, man. It's nice out here on this Wednesday morning, about 30 minutes before I actually go live at the radio station. So, like I said, I had a few minutes to kill. Probably just wait a few minutes to see if, some people will file in right now. I only have 5. And normally, I probably put like, a time on there where I schedule a time where I actually go live. Shouts out to everybody out there that's working at 9 to 5, man, probably listening to this at work. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to everybody that's working hard, man. Those traveling the highways and byways. Chemo, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Actually, everybody hit the like button if you enjoy the content of the State of the Saints podcast. And also check out the Facebook page, facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. And if you actually go to the main channel page here on YouTube, if you're watching it here, you can just click on that Facebook link and it'll bring you directly to the new State of Saints podcast page. And it should be easier to find because we actually changed the State of Saints podcast logo as of yesterday. Some of you probably seen it. I like it. It's something a little bit different, going into a new season. The classic State of the Saints logo that we had, or the second version of the State of the Saints podcast. It's been around about 3 years, so I just thought that I'd change some things up and try to, do some merchandising also, man. So we're going to have some T-shirts and other things coming soon with the new logo on there. So I just ask everybody, support those that can. And if you can't, then continue to watch the channel and put your comments down. So Chemo, first question says, and shouts out to Brandon, he says, who that? But Chemo says, TJ, do you feel that Alontae Taylor will get significant playing time? DH seems to like him. I think he will. I like him a lot. I think that he has a lot of fire, a lot of passion. And I said on the last episode, he reminds me a lot of Eric Berry, the way that he flies around the field and his confidence and his leadership. I think that he's going to be one of those guys that has a C on his chest a couple of years from now. And he got the stamp of approval from Malcolm Jenkins, wearing that classic 27, the number 27 with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, it's been a pretty good number for some of these players out here, so he wants to carry on that number 27 legacy, and he's doing a really good job, at that. So shouts out to him. Lloyd, thank you very much for being here. Saint says, who that? BC says, what up, TJ? Who that? We that says Trey. Alfred says, big picture question. Do you think by Mike T being out for so long, I'm sorry, let me just pull it up. Let's see. Do you think it adds years to his career or possibly has shortened his career? That's a good question, Alfred. My answer would be only time will tell. We don't know what type of condition Michael Thomas is in. I mean, we see videos coming out of him, doing the jump boxes and, had him, saying doing like the little curls and stuff like that, the deadlifts. We see all this stuff, but I mean, only time will tell. And I think that Michael Thomas is a really passionate football player, and I think he's chomping at the bit to get out there. It's funny you say that, man. I got an article that I'm about to write about Michael Thomas and how he's coming into 2022 with a chip on his shoulder. So be on the lookout for that on the Who Dat Dish. But only time will tell. I mean, we seen guys have these significant injuries and become mere shells of themselves. And then we see guys who have significant injuries and they come back and they don't miss a beat, right? So hopefully he'll be a part of the latter, come in, ready, determined, and go back to being the old Michael Thomas. So Only time will tell, Alfred, but that's a good question. Strolling a little bit. Thank y'all for being here once again. Hit that like button if you're here. Ken Arthur said, "What's happening, TJ? What do you think of the helmets? And will we be able to wear it with any uni?" Um, I think according to the National Football League, NFLPA, I think the new helmet, you can say the alternative helmet, only can be worn in at least one game per year. But I'm pretty sure um, they're going to probably change that. I mean, if you look around the landscape of college football, you see a lot of these teams out here with these different variations of uniforms. And I think the NFL probably will want to do that too. I mean, you even see it in the NBA. They got all these different uh, jerseys, like the Atlanta Hawks. They have like the Martin Luther King version of their jersey. You have the Phoenix Suns who have like Latin appreciation. They have those jerseys as well as many other teams around the NBA have a different style. So I just think that the NFL loses out on a lot of money for being so traditional. I think that's a big issue. I think that's the reason why, the NFL doesn't make, they make money, a lot of money. But I think they can make way more money than they are making right now if they just leave the whole tradition behind and move forward with progression. Like I think about even with like Madden football, right? Like they allowed EA Sports, a contract to give them exclusive rights to actually have a NFL simulated game. They're the only gaming company that can actually do that. Now think about this. If you actually had 2K, Madden, you know what I'm saying? You can use like football on any other company. Excuse me. Like, how would that benefit you? So I just think that they lose out on a lot of money, trying to be, keen on tradition. But as far as the Saints are concerned, I like the jersey, man. I like it a lot. I mean, a helmet. I like it a lot. And I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to change something up in order for the helmet to match some of the jerseys that they have. TJ, based on if we're healthy all year and we're a balanced offense, what's a realistic stat line for Jameis by the end of the year? Uh, Realistically, if he comes back and he's healthy, third year in the Saints offensive system, I say that he probably will have like maybe like 4,000 or 4,500 yards, something like that. Probably have maybe 31 touchdowns, maybe like 11 or 12 interceptions, something like that. So that's probably a stat line I can see him having, based on a balanced attack, based on what I feel like the Saints can actually be. I think that's probably going to be a stat line, something like that. I don't think he's going to be throwing for 5,000 yards and all that kind of stuff. And I understand how people may feel. They think that the Saints got all that offensive firepower, that weaponry at the wide receiver position. They think they're going to throw the ball all over the field. I don't think so. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that the Saints are going to be a balanced football team. And I said this before also, defensive coaches have a mind frame to run the football. They want to be physical. I mean, think about it. I mean, a defensive coach, I mean, best defensive coordinators, they have a physical defense. So they want the offense to mirror their defense. So I expect for them to have a balanced attack. If they don't, it will be highly surprising to me. Trey says it depends on what seeded Deuce contract hit for. Man, I don't think it's gonna hurt them at all. I don't think his contract gonna hurt them at all, and they need to pay that guy. To be honest with you, Black and Gold Breakdown Podcast. Aaron says, "Hey TJ, I don't have any questions. I'm just here to ask that you keep my grandmother and your hopes and prayers. She's been struggling a lot with her health." Yeah, Aaron, man, my prayers go out to your grandmother. I know how much she means to you. I know that I've been around for quite some time, and I've seen you like been on a show and had to leave, to take care of your grandmother, which I commend you for. My grandmother, shouts out to her. She just had eye surgery. She's healing from that, and shouts out to my grandfather, who had COVID. He tested positive for COVID. So, man, so shouts out to them. But shouts out to, your grandmother. Hope that she feels better. And like I said, man, just continue to do what you've been doing, and taking care of her and, making sure that she's comfortable. And I know you're going to do that, man, because like I said, I respect you a lot because I've seen you on several occasions lead a show, because, you have to go to the store for your grandmother, take care in some capacity. So, Aaron, we praying for you, man. Prayers up for him. Josh says, TJ, look out for my email that um, let me see, I'm AEDJG. Sending letter. Okay. I'll make sure I take a look at it. Only color rush. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm pretty sure they probably thought that the color rush jersey would be um, the best looking jersey for that helmet. But why not come up with a black color rush jersey, right? I mean, you have other teams that have different color rush jerseys, so why not come up with a black color rush? That'll be pretty cool. Hey TJ, did you have a chance to look at CJ interview about the disrespect the national media gives to Saints? Yeah, I have. I actually talked about that on the show. I had the brothers from the Saints Twitter podcast come through, and they talked a little bit about it as well. Yeah, I saw it, man, and I think he was speaking a lot of truth. I think that it comes from a lot of frustration, especially guys last year where the offense looked like straight trash and the defense was carrying them, and they know how good he knows how good this team can actually be. So yeah, I saw it, man. I thought the brother was speaking his truth. So nothing wrong with that, And also, man, you got to give him credit for being as candor as he was, man, and open. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude don't really hold back anything, which I think that everybody that's a Saints fan can appreciate. I think that's what Cam Jordan said. Not sure exactly what Cam Jordan actually said. I only seen one interview with him since minicamp. Hey, what up, TJ? Wish we can wear black helmets with a black uniform. Yeah, that would be nice. But like I said, I think they need to come up with a black color rush jersey. I think that would be best. I mean, you got a white one that I feel is one of the best, if not the best in the league. Um, and it's so good that you would probably want that to be their traditional every I guess you have to wear that. Most teams wear the dark color jerseys at home and light color jerseys away. So I think they need to add that and be like a jersey that they can wear consistently. TJ, are you surprised we aren't hearing anything from Tre'Quan coming out of camp? No, not really. Not really, not at all. I mean, only thing I seen out of Tre'Quan Smith, I think he was rolling into a Jimmy Johns or something like that. I don't know, man, but it's not good or bad. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're not hearing from him, which is no surprise. I mean, you got all that offensive firepower, all that talent. Why is anybody looking to see what Tre'Quan Smith is doing? I think that Tre'Quan Smith is on borrowed time. Unless he goes out here and he just wows everybody in training camp, I don't see him playing for the team. I don't see him being a part of this 53-man roster. I mean, you look at Olave, you look at Thomas, you look at Landry, you look at Callaway, you look at Hardy. I mean, you look at Tre'Quan Smith, he look like he's going to be the odd man out unless he just goes out there and he just balls out, which I don't see that happening. I mean, you had these opportunities to step up when a moment presented itself and you didn't. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure we seen what we can. I mean, we seen the best of what Tre'Quan Smith can offer, in my opinion. I hope he proves me wrong. Do you think the Saints are a top 5 team? On paper, yeah, but you got to put it out there on the field. Look, I understand how people may feel about it. You're looking at all this talent they have, but they got to mesh and they got to work together, and you got to develop a level of chemistry. If you don't, then it's not going to work. I don't buy into the whole paper thing. Man, I've seen teams look like they're virtually unstoppable, don't make the playoffs. I've seen teams that have a whole bunch of talent and it just does not work. I mean, and there are times where it does work. I mean, you look at the Rams. So I look at this like only time will tell. I'm never too high or too low when it comes to Saints football. I just basically just kind of play the middle. and see where things go from there. I think that's the way that we need to do it. But I do feel like based on how the media portrays other teams when they acquire players and they acquire coaches and stuff like that, I think they should have some type of respect about what the Saints can possibly do this season versus like some of these other teams. TJ Jones, how you doing, my guy? Keep grinding and who that? I love the helmets. I can't wait to see it on game day. Yeah, me too, man. It's a level of excitement, man. I mean, this whole entire offseason has been filled with excitement, and that's something I can appreciate. This is a season like none other. You know, like you normally, like I said, it's pretty boring when it comes to the Saints offseason. You might see a player or two come through the spot that might, make you excited. But for the most part, you pretty much know what they're going to do. This season, you don't know what the Saints are going to do. You don't know how it's going to pan out. I mean, we have an idea, but there's a lot of uh, there's a lot of speculation when it comes to the Saints. What would you rank our defense going into the season? Well, going into the season, I think they should be a top five defense. I mean, because the only thing that you can do is piggyback off what you saw last year. So they were one of the best defenses in the league. So I think that you have to put them in a top three or top five. So yeah, I mean, nobody has played yet, so you don't know where the pecking order is going into 2022. I mean, except for what you saw last year. Realistic stat line for Jameis: 9,000 yards, 95 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Yeah, if you're playing Madden on rookie. I was actually thinking something similar, TJ. Yeah. The black helmet might go good with that off gold uniform they sometimes wear. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think they need to come with a black color red jersey to match the helmet. I mean, you go all in with the helmet, go all in with a jersey. Can we acknowledge we got big leg Lutz back? Yeah, I mean that's big. Will Lutz coming back definitely will be helpful, especially in some of those games where the Saints may be struggling offensively and they need field goals in order for them to keep pace with their opponent. So it's good to have a guy that can go out there and can get you 3 points or kick an extra point because it's been rough. It's been rough, man. TJ acknowledged the Who Dat Nation. Yeah, I definitely acknowledge the Who Dat Nation. Shouts out to everybody in the Who Dat Nation, everybody that's listening to this, watching this. Appreciate it. Seeded Dudes Defensive Player of the Year. Could be, I mean, he gets better every single year. He seems like he's sure of himself, and he's definitely one of those guys that brings the energy. So why not? Prayers going up for Aaron's grandmother. Shouts out to the Who Dat Nation, man. Yeah, everybody wishing Aaron well. Josh, really trying to get this over. 9,000 yards, 95 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Like I said, if you're playing Madden on rookie, and I know you want me to hit that Bishop Bullwinkle, but I'm recording on my phone right now, so I don't want to mess with the stream. Sometimes like when I hit those little buttons, sometimes like it messes up the stream. So heck no to the no, 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 heck to the no. All right. TJ, why is everyone so concerned with our defensive tackles? I think we will be okay at that spot. Probably because there's not a lot of big names coming out of there. It's kind of a position, a committee position. Outside of Davion Yamada, I mean, you got Malcolm Roach, you got Shad Tuttle, and then you got Street, right? Kavarius Street, who you got from the San Francisco 49ers, who I feel like is completely underrated. And I think that he's going to make a lot of people realize that the interior lineman position is okay. I just think that sometimes when we're not familiar with guys, we get a little nervous, right? When a guy isn't standing out and we watch our favorite shows and we don't never hear nobody from the interior line recognize, all of a sudden we feel like that's no good. But those guys do a solid job, man. It's a reason why you can count on one hand how many 100-yard rushes the Saints have had in the last 3 seasons. I mean, it's a reason for that. So you have to give those guys some credit. And I honestly, that's not a position that I just feel like is really that desperate in need. I mean, I just think that when most people think about this position, it's probably the reason why they're so concerned about it because you know they ain't got a all-star cast like the wide receiver position. They ain't got stars all in the like the cornerbacks and the secondary. So, but I think they fine, man. I think when you look back and you realize, you know, you put everything into perspective, you're like, man, this is a pretty good interior line that we have. Gary said it would be nice if the Saints had the all white helmets with the logo along with the color rush jersey. What you think, TJ? Yeah, I think a white jersey would be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? With the color rush jersey. Yeah, I think that would be nice. But once again, I feel like the NFL loses out on money because they're so keen on tradition. I think that you need to get away from that in order for you to really, I mean, for you to make more money. I mean, think about this. Like cut like jerseys and uniforms are recruiting tools in college. Like a lot of guys, got recruited by Oregon because all those different variations of the Oregon Duck uniforms. I mean, it did help that the owner and operator of Nike actually graduated from the school, so they get all this free swag. But it does help. That's why you see a lot of these teams come up with these different type of uniforms. I mean, you see Texas A&M, you see you see Oregon, you see, Navy, what I'm saying, come out there, you got all these different schools like wearing colors that you're not used to seeing them wear. Big 12, Baylor, man, these teams and these colleges, they know that these guys want to look good on the field. So why not? I mean, you can still have the traditional jerseys and stuff like that, but why not change it up and give fans a different look? Think about all of the money you'll make because a fan likes a certain type of jersey, a black color rush jersey, a white color rush jersey, a gold jersey, you know, black helmet, white helmet, gold helmet. Think about all the money that you can possibly make off that, but you steady trying to, think about the days of yesteryear when Vince Lombardi was out there and Johnny U and Bart Starr. Like, you want to keep that tradition going, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? This is a modern day NFL. All those guys from yesteryear, those guys are pretty much passing away. So now you have to have a new generation of player. So you got to be able to, relate to those players. We need an AJ Dillon type if we're going to get a running back. We need that 250 pound workhorse type. We do. We keep going for backs that do the same stuff that AK does. It keeps us one dimensional. Well, I think Josh. Once again, I tell people this. I think that we need to have a wait and see approach when it comes to this new regime. We got to. Like, I think that we are so used to like traditional Saints methods, traditional Saints mind frames. I just think that now it's like we feel like that's just going to be the norm. I tell people all the time, Dennis Allen is not Sean Payton, and I just think that we just have to wait and see what type of offense this team is actually going to be. I mean, we don't know. I mean, Abram Smith is not your traditional running back that we used to the Saints getting, a guy that can, run somebody over, a guy that can, that's pretty decent at pass protection. Like, so I think we have to have a wait and see approach, until like all the facts come out. They just gotta wait. Let's give Dennis Allen and his coaching staff a chance. Let's see. TJ Ross was talking about how Davenport is in kind of a prove-it year, even though he had 9.5 sacks last year, and I agree. He has to prove he can play at least 13 games. What do you think? Well, I think he needs to prove he can actually play an entire season. Look, I just think that when you look at guys like Cameron Jordan, who never missed a game, the only time he missed a game when he tested positive for COVID. Like, when this guy's been an Iron Man for the Saints, never missed a snap. I mean, for the most part, what I'm saying, have like 80, 90% of the snaps, don't like being on the sidelines. And I think we compare him to Cam Jordan. I'm talking Davenport. So him not being available and Cam Jordan going into his 12th season always available, it just makes him, it makes him look bad. It makes us raise eyebrows and be like, man, what's wrong with this dude? Like, why he can't play? You know what I'm saying? Why he never available? But when he is out there, man, he's a terror. He's a problem. It's unfortunate that, he has all these injuries. I mean, from the amputation of the finger, all these knee injuries, these shoulder injuries and stuff like that. But hopefully he can get it all together, man. He can have himself a lights out year. Still, I think that teams would be reluctant to pay him top dollar if the Saints couldn't pay him, because they would think about all the production that he has. But, how much production are we going to see as a team? Like, we pay this guy $70 million and he's always in the cold tub. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think this is more of a proven year to the Saints to see how much they'd be willing to pay him, because I don't know if a team will be out there as productive as he is. I don't think team is going to give him top dollar to come play for him. You know what I'm saying? I think that based on his injury history, teams might try to lowball him because he has not played a full season ever. We got 68 plus watching. Come on, come out wherever you are. Yeah, I mean, look, it ain't always about quantity. It's about quality, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm pretty sure people are at work right now. I mean, it's 10:56 Central Time, 11:56 Eastern Time. So, I mean, pretty sure people are at work, and, this is kind of an impromptu show. I didn't tell anybody that, I was doing it. So, I mean, it's about quality, quality. I ain't too concerned about no quantity. What up, TJ? Do you think Trevor Penning starts at left tackle? I don't know. I think James Hurst might end up starting at the beginning of the season, but I think that they might kind of put him in, every now and then, unless he has like a lights out training camp. If he goes out there and he blows it out the water, then I'm pretty sure that he's going to start. If he has like any type of promise, like if he's a little bit better than what they thought, he's going to start. I mean, he's a first round pick, so you want those guys to be out there to get that type of experience. I feel like Davenport going to play out his mind and out of New Orleans if he plays a full healthy season like Trey Hendrickson. Could be. But the difference is between Trey and Marcus is the fact that Marcus was a starter. You know what I'm saying? Trey was coming in like sporadically and making plays. So by him leaving, you know what I'm saying, and going somewhere else, you know what I'm saying, to become a starter, I think teams were more willing to look past some of the things Trace Hendrickson, had going on with him injury-wise. But, I mean, you look at Davenport, I don't see that. Like, I don't see it. Like, I think that the only team that's going to be willing to pay him top dollar to stay, to play for him is the Saints. That's how I feel. I mean, he's talented, but teams want production. They want guys to be out there, right? More times than not. So he might play his way out in New Orleans, but it's not going to be like he going to get, some top-notch money or something like that. Like, I don't see that. Ain't no team is going to pay no guy, $70-80 million for 8 games, 9 games. I don't see it, unless you like the Browns or something like that. Maybe the Browns will pay you, That's about it, That's not a good look. Cam playing all the time and a positive Rona test, what kept him out. Davenport chewed gum and will be out for 3 weeks. Yeah, that's not a good look, man. But football, sometimes, guys have these nagging injuries and they just never could get right. I'm going to take a few more and then we're going to get up out of here, man. Thank y'all for being a part of the show. Once again, this is more of a Q&A. I wouldn't even really call this a show. TJ, what about signing Quan? If they need him, sign him. But if they don't, then don't sign him. And I just think that him being out there on the street right now and the Saints not really looking at him to re-sign him, I think that's a positive thing, because we know that a defensive coach wants to put emphasis on his defense and make it the best possible. So he must see something out of these other linebackers, these young guys, stepping up and improving. If they weren't, then I feel like he would have called Quan Alexander. The team would have called him, but I think they like where they are right now. But injuries happen in training camp and stuff like that. Guys go down, and you might end up having to sign them back. Let's start a change.org petition to make TJ a Saints running back. Nah, I'm good on that. 35 years old, uh, and I never played running back a day in my life. Okay, you do better. You do better signing somebody that's out there that's young, vibrant, and what I'm saying, that can run in between the tackles and lower the shoulder and knock somebody over. You know, I'm 35. I ain't built like that no more. I hope they keep number 5. We talking about Andy Dalton because Quan Alexander is gone. TJ, you heard Watson could be suspended for an entire year. Yeah, I heard about that. It is what it is. All these allegations and all these people coming out the woodwork, all these articles and stuff like that, it's making the NFL look bad, which is no surprise to me. This is more like, they just basically putting a lot of smoke out there, what I'm saying, in order for individuals to go on social media and have their opinions and say all these different things and create an outcry and, mess with the NFL's bottom line. That's what they do. That's what they do, folks. If most of the time when people be doing these lawsuits, they want to shame a person to a point where they're willing to settle to make all the situation go away. And now I hear that he's going to try to settle with 20 of the 24 alleged victims. And here's the thing: people saying that him settling is an admission of guilt. I don't believe it. I don't. Like, I think that a lot of celebrities, famous people, they're willing to settle because they just want the situation to go away. And I think that you have a lot of lawyers out here who represent individuals like that, know that. And they put a lot of pressure on these people to settle in order for them to, get money for their clients. So I don't think that it's an admission of guilt. And there's also one of those things where you just can't satisfy anybody, right? So people, get mad and talk about, him being able to play. The NFL suspends him if they suspend him. And then, he goes behind the mic and say he never did anything to anybody. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Then he settles. I really don't believe him. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. All I know is I'm just going to wait and see. But I honestly, if he settles, I don't think we ever going to really find out. I mean, it's just basically he already guilty in the court of public opinion. Like, bringing his name up in certain circles, I mean, already kind of ignites some type of passion or anger, like frustration out of people. So they got what they wanted. What TJ at work, Weldon, listening to the show with my earbuds. Anderson, thank you, man. I appreciate that. What's up, TJ? Been missing lives a lot from work, but always catch a live when I can. TJ, I'm happy about all of the additions. We're quiet, but don't mean anything until we see it on the field. You ain't lying. I don't get excited till I actually see what's going on. I don't. Ridley on-field issues, harsher penalties off-field, 6 games, maybe 4. Let me see, no punishment at all. Well, I don't look. I think every situation is different from the other. Gambling and on the NFL where you play, that is pretty dangerous. P. Warner is a dog, but runs graded backer in the league last year. Best run graded backer. Yeah, I just think that P. Warner gonna get better as time go on. I think that he's gonna be a solid linebacker. He was always smart, even at Ohio State, man. I just think that he just needed some reps and also more knowledge of the playbook. I think he's going to play faster this year, and I think he's going to be much better. Speak on it, TJ. I've been trying to tell these fools who that everyone, 20 are settled, and the other 4 are continuing to push the case. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, people like to have these settlements to make things go away. Um, I don't feel like it proves that a person is guilty. Like we all know about the outcry. Like we all know about how social media can influence people's uh, moves, how they dictate people's lives, right? So, I don't think that it's an admission of guilt. Um, I don't think that it's didn't mean that he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know what to feel. I just know that people like to push an agenda, like, what I'm saying, and I'm not saying that, it's not warranted. I'm just saying that people get behind their phones and get in behind their computers and they type and they create all this outrage and people start to get on board and people start to add on, I mean, I don't know. That's just the culture, man. Nobody wants to wait until the facts come out. Like, we just always just like, oh, he had to do it. Look at all these people. He had to do it. It had to be the issue. I just always say, man, look at a guy like Brian Banks. Man, this man spent time in prison, lost his scholarship to USC, one of the best players in the country. And then, he went to jail for years being lied on. And, I just think that, man, we just got to reserve our judgment. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to get into the social media cult that's going on. Like I try to just reserve my judgment. That's not saying that I'm not sympathetic to all people out there that's been victim of a sexual assault, because that's what they try to do, man. And that's the problem I have in society today, to be honest. Um, People want everybody to think alike. They want everybody's views and viewpoints to be uniform. Like that doesn't make us human, right? You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be with somebody or around somebody that thinks and walks and talks and reacts like them. Like, how do you grow? How do you develop if everybody thinks the same? Well, we so quick to label one another. Like, oh, he's not for, he says he's reserving his judgment, so he must sympathize with Deshaun Watson, or you must don't support women. Like, and then people get shamed, and then they like, okay, I ain't gonna say anything else, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's in my heart. You don't know what's in another person's heart. And I don't think that 2 + 2 is equals to 4 in every situation. So I never think like that. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. Like, I never roll like that. You know, I give you another example. Okay, so this doesn't have anything to do with football, but okay, the new album with Drake, right? It's getting a lot of criticism because it's a little bit different from the albums that he put out in the past. And people are criticizing, saying they don't like it. So he says that, oh man, people don't understand it yet, but this is what's going to be the new wave. And I just thought about that. I'm like, why would he say something like that? If somebody don't like it, they just don't like it, right? But it seemed like to me like they're going to force feed it to you, right? They're going to continue to make music that's similar to this type of type of beat, type of direction he went in, until people just start to like it. And then it's to a point where if you don't like it, then you turn into a hater. I mean, that's how society is to me. If you don't become a part of the masses, you're a hater, or you you know or you're a sexist, or you're a racist. Man, I don't know, man. People are different. I don't think you can judge people based on them having a different of opinion than you do. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. You can't say that a person's opinion is wrong because it's not your opinion. It's all opinion, right? If I come out here and I say that Alvin Kamara is the best running back in the league, some majority of y'all probably agree with me because you're Saints fans. But if you go somewhere else like Minnesota or something like that, somebody will say something like Dalvin is a better running back, or if you talk about Tennessee, they'll say Derrick Henry is a better running back. You know what I'm saying? But it's all opinion, right? You know what I'm saying? All these guys get into the end zone at a high rate, and they're extremely talented, and pretty much, if their careers stay on track, they're gonna end up in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know, man. I just think that we have to get away from that. This whole mob mentality shaming people for having a difference of opinion. I'm not down with that. What's wrong with waiting for the facts to come out? What's wrong with somebody having a stance about that? But I don't know. Hey TJ, I know we've been on another running back, but dude, our tight end position is kind of suspect until someone proves themselves. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I mean, that's a thin position right there. Shouts out to Nick Underhill. He made an interesting point. He was talking about how we was talking about Lucas Kroll and talking about how promising he looked, but he doing it against a bunch of guys that's going to be probably working at 24-hour fitness or something like that, in a couple of months. So you got to go out there and prove it against a top-notch defense. Maybe we can have a conversation. He made a house album. I mean, I haven't heard it. Like, I'm just not interested, man. What made me not interested in it was his comments about what he said. You know, it's almost like, man, y'all not on this yet. Like, why do we have to get on it? Why do you have to force feed it and make us like it? Like, you got to think about this, man. The majority of the music we listen to is because it's constantly played over and over and over again. The styles are played over and over again. And you have to ask yourself, like, do you really like the music? Or is it like, so force fed to you, you have no choice, right? So I don't know, man. I mean, I think music is like a bus ride, right? When it's time for you to, stop, you pull that button and you get off, right? So, you know, I done been got off the music bus, right? So I got Sirius XM in my car. So I be listening to like the 2000 knots, the 99, what I'm saying, the 90s, 2000 stuff like that. So, and occasionally, so I listen to some of the modern day music, if I if I'm at the gym or, what I'm saying, I just want to get a little energy inside the car. I mean, the beats and stuff like that are good. I mean, the lyrics are trash, you know. When I when I when I heard Kodak Black, he was like pew 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 pew, like dude basically just said that for like 20 seconds, like towards the end of the song. I can't remember. I want to say it's that Usain Boot song. You were like sticking and moving and sticking and moving. I'm like, man, what is this, man? Like, dude, what are you rapping? Are you giving instructions about on a boxing match or something? I don't know what's going on with that. So, I mean, I'll listen to the lyrics. I actually read the lyrics. I go back and like, you go to lyrics.com or something like that and you read it. That's what I do. And I just like, man, this like, what are they talking about? That the beats and the outsourced hooks, that's the thing that be making it, these these guys jam. TJ, are you big on incentive-based contracts, or do you think the risk to the players' bodies warrant more guaranteed money? I think that the NFL should have more guaranteed money. I think they should be in the realms of Major League Baseball and basketball. I'm serious. Like those guys get guaranteed money and they have less risk, which I never understood. Like, I don't think people understand, like, you can die like playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be seriously injured, paralyzed. I mean, it's more of a risk. I mean, you can be out there in the center field for 20 plus years in baseball. You can pitch for 20 years, right? Like, and these guys get guaranteed money. I just never understood like why the NFL has these incentive-based contracts. Maybe it's because they got more players in the National Football League than other sports. I understand that, but I think top-notch, top-tier players need to get paid more money, and they need to be guaranteed. TJ, my dad said the Raiders are going to smoke us. Had the nerve to say we going to check who going to check Devontae like Lattimore didn't clamp him last year. Well, look, I hate to say it, King Arthur, but the Raiders have had the Saints number. I can't remember the last time the Saints beat the Raiders. To be honest with you, they beat them the Raiders beat them in a Superdome. They beat them again a couple of years ago. So I have to say, man, your father has a compelling argument there, man. The Raiders have had the Saints number over the last 4 years. So I mean, we only play them like every now and then, but the last two games, like the Saints lost. So I can't get mad at your dad for that one. He got a point. I don't listen to the media clowns every day, and I listen to them because You know, I just, and you need entertainment, but I don't buy into what they're talking about. Like, is it like I like the method. Like I tell you all the time, being a communication major, I like to listen to people speak, and I can see how they can manipulate the masses by some of the things that they say. Like, and they try to convince people, and then on top of that, man, like nobody really wants their opinion and their viewpoint changed, to be honest, because the majority of people today they look at things that relate to their self-interest to reinforce they viewpoints. Like no, you don't really see people trying to think outside the box and seeing like, oh man, let me see what they're saying over here. Let me see what they're saying over there. It's only like most of the time, like how like when you go on YouTube and you have like the whole catalog, and it's basically based on your interests, right? So you got a lot of people out here who prefer certain news stations because it reinforces what their beliefs are. It's no surprise how people think the way that they do because when you get on Facebook and you get on Twitter, like you're surrounded by a bunch of people that have your same viewpoints. So sometimes, like well, you're being told that this is what society is saying, right? This is what society is saying, like because everybody is thinking like you, but in reality, it's just a part of an algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people like to listen to stuff that reinforces their views. So if I don't know, but I can see why people can buy into what some of those guys be saying at times. But if you're not careful, you'll fall into that trap too. Jerry, you pop up and more podcasts than pimples on a teenage boy face. Shout out to everyone in the chat. TJ, what will the Saints record be? Um, I'm gonna do that show later on. I tell everybody, like I'm not going. I'm gonna give a big presentation on that. So I'm not. I'm gonna hold that off until preseason. You know what I'm saying? The preseason. Then y'all gonna get a show where I talk about what I think the Saints record is gonna be. TJ, we live in a society where if you're accused and have to prove your innocence when it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, you made the accusation, so you prove your claim. Yeah, man, it's not innocent until proven guilty. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's guilty until proven innocent. And in most cases, you're never proven innocent, even if you go through the court system. People still gonna feel like you did it. They're gonna be like, oh man, his lawyer got him off. Oh, her lawyer got off. Like so you'll never like be completely exonerated at all. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to society. Hey TJ, any thoughts on what the Pelicans should draft? I have to go in the other room, folks. I have to start this live show. But yeah. Uh Pelicans, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. I seen some video of Zion and he looked pretty good, man, but I'm just wondering like how much of that is Photoshop. Zion, he looked like he lost some weight and stuff like that. But they had that video that happened during COVID, and you know, Zion looked all slim and you know what I'm saying, and buff and all that kind of stuff. But it turns out it was just like a Photoshop picture. So I don't know, man. I just hope that they can put it all together and maybe win some games. We barely play them, and the Raiders are always good for a fluke win. Yeah, and they always get that fluke win on the Saints for some apparent reason. Who that to that? Yeah. But I mean the Raiders they play the Saints well. They just match up well against and they've had the Saints number. I'm not gonna lie about that. TJ, the court of public opinion also contradicts facts, and people still put their faith in that alone. Sad that people believe in feelings over facts. Yeah, that's because, like I said, we look at things, we listen to things that reinforce our beliefs, and we look at and listen to it so much that we feel like that is reality. Um, I just feel like we're getting further and further away from the things that matter um, because everybody is looking for an opportunity. You know, everybody looking for an opportunity. Like I always say, like there's a lane for everybody out there, and people find that. You know what I'm saying? And then their voices become louder and louder, and it causes the masses to react. I don't, like I said, I don't buy into any of that stuff because I don't think that any entity, I mean, I don't care what your political beliefs is. I don't care what your walk of life is, where you stand at. I don't think that anybody has your best interests at heart. I think the only person that can seek and find truth is you. And you have to do your research, and you have to like really think and process what matters to you. You know what I'm saying? What matters to you. You know, so like I said, I just try to stay away from that because I know it's all entertainment, and I know these people get off on being able to manipulate people to react the way they want them to react. Um, I don't know. I judge people based on how they treat me, my experiences, and everything like that. So I just think that sometimes, you know, people just quick to react because, and I think they react out of fear. You know, they don't want to be labeled. I don't care about being labeled. I mean, the only people that matter to me as far as what their opinion is in my family. And you know what I'm saying? As long as my wife still loves me, my son is well taken care of, and my family, you know what I'm saying, still loves me for what I'm doing, I'm cool. I just think that we spend too much time caring about what people we'll never meet in our lifetime think about us. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares when anybody thinks about you? Who cares that you sit back and you wait for all the facts to come out? Who cares that you take the time to process Saints football and you put, you know what I'm saying, that into play when you make decisions about why my team is better? Who cares? Like, if you know that you did what you need to do and do your due diligence and you're not fully influenced by what's going on in society, you should be okay. Uh, TJ, how do we course correct? Because as a 34-year-old, I'm afraid for those coming up behind us, though. Well, you course correct by, if you have kids, being able to instill certain principles inside of them. And when they get older, they'll know how to compartmentalize society, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it starts at home. So that's the best thing you can do. I mean, you can't, and you know how it is. I mean, growing up, I mean, I grew up in a really good home, but in society, man, you have to go out there, and people then have the same principles and viewpoints as you. So you just gotta train your children and teach them like certain principles, and so they can be able to maneuver through society. Hey TJ, you know why I really listen to you? Tell us the truth, man. You're number one, my brother. Wallace, I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody that watches this show because not only do we talk about sports, I mean we talk about life too. And I always say I never know what direction this show is going to go in. I don't. I get behind the mic or in front of this camera, and I just start talking, and you never know what direction this show is going to go in. So I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. TJ Watt defense allow less than 50 total points this season, or will they allow slightly more, like 55 or 60 something? I don't see that happening. This is the NFL. I mean, even a worse team probably wouldn't be averaging, letting another team average 50 points. So I don't see that happening, man. Okay, I don't see that happening. Hello, Who Dat family. What's going on, Barbara? Joe says can't fix stupid, and there's a lot of stupid people. I don't want to call them stupid, man. I just think that I don't want to say stupid, man. Like you have a lot of people out here that feel like they're doing the right thing, but it's more based on influence than principle. If you want to be honest with you, it's like uh, society is telling you how to think and feel. You know, mm, it's not good, right? If you did like research and you look at things for what they are and you come to that conclusion on your own and you want to react, then I'm all for it. But just doing stuff based on reaction because saying that I believe in this will allow me to get more likes. It will let me get more views. Like I look at this lane, what I'm saying, that's going on. And I'm not, what I'm saying, trying to be political, but black folks who are like being super critical about societal issues when it comes to African Americans, right? Just be saying stuff like, yeah, that's considered controversial in the black community, or white, individuals saying stuff that may be controversial among, you know what I'm saying, like cultures and stuff like that. Like all in the sake of views. Like don't really feel like that, but know that they can tick somebody off, and by ticking people off, they can get a bunch of views and all that kind of stuff. Those are the type of people I just don't respect. Like I would ask you how you sleep at night, but you probably sleep just fine because you'll sell your soul for riches. Like I said, those are the people that I don't have any respect for because they're dangerous. They're dangerous to society. They're dangerous because you got people out here that listen to what these people say, and it will make you feel like their back is against the wall, or they're they're not being understood, and they make these dumb decisions like we've been seeing going on in the world. So um, I think that's dangerous, man. I think, like what they said on Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And when you have a level of power and you know that, you should never use it to weaponize people. You should want to empower people, right? And also, you should be able to give them solutions, not for them to come up with solutions themselves. Like going into schools, going into supermarkets, or what have you. Like so. You got to be able to take that responsibility that people have given to you because they trust you, and you got to help them be able to navigate through society. TJ, you do a good job of keeping a balanced perspective, and that is what makes your podcast different. Don't change. Well, I don't plan on changing because this is who I am. That's what it goes back to what I was just saying earlier about those guys. Like, I try to be unapologetically me, man, because I'm not trying to just try to get a quick buck. You know what I'm saying? Like I rather do things my way, and I just know that God gonna bless me regardless. If I'm doing things the right way, He always does. Hope everyone is staying cool from this blazing heat we're dealing with. Man, uh, it was pretty cool down here yesterday. Today, not so much. Yep, I say half of whites who use the N word to describe blacks are only doing it to sound cool to their friends. Well, I would recommend no white person using the N word, or, what I'm saying, like black people, use the N word. I just know what that word represents to people. But it goes way beyond that. You know what I'm saying? It go way beyond that, Josh. And I just think that people will do anything for a dollar to create controversy because people, are more attracted to negative things more so than positive in this world today, which is sad. Should be the opposite. Tre'Quan or Kevin White? I'm gonna go with Tre'Quan. Kevin White hasn't done anything. At least Tre'Quan been in the end zone. This man been in the league 8 seasons, ain't never had a regular season touchdown. Yeah, I'll take Tre'Quan. He ain't that big. Hey TJ, real quick thoughts on our LSU Tigers. Brian Kelly, really good coach. Good. I think that they're going to go far. You look at what Brian Kelly was able to do at Notre Dame, and they had like certain stipulations, like you have to have a certain GPA, certain level of character. They couldn't like recruit everybody. So now you have like endless possibilities. So I expect for LSU to be really good under Brian Kelly because now he can recruit in any way and whoever he wants. Kevin White is basically a modern TO. TO. I don't think you believe that, Josh. Josh is out here just saying stuff now. But let me go ahead. I gotta go. But thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate it. I just ask that everybody hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and also subscribe and check out the Facebook page. If you go to the State of Saints podcast channel page on here on YouTube, if you're watching it, hit that Facebook button. It'll bring you directly to the new Facebook page, and go ahead and hit that follow button, man. I'm trying to get the numbers back up, man. We had 1,100 followers now, so we're getting some momentum. So I ask that you check out the page, so you help that page grow, just like you help the YouTube channel grow. Hope everybody has a good day. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Take care, show love, and respect one another. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?